Absolutely. So what are some of the, you spent a lot of time in this book talking about a bunch of different vitamins and minerals and all of these little, nutrition ideas. What are some of the most common minerals that people are deficient in, and what are some of the easy ways to get that back into your system?
So I would say a big one, because a lot of people are drinking diet sodas and carbonated beverages, calcium would be a big one. Their body's just simply not able to absorb these nutrients. Zinc would be another one. Zinc is good for the immune system and for wound healing and for stomach acid production. Let's see, another common one is selenium. Selenium is something that you need in small amounts, but it's still necessary. So selenium, a big one that we like to get is Brazil nuts.
So easy. Take a Brazil nut.
You only need 2 Brazil nuts to get your daily allowance of selenium that you need.
They're usually the throwaway nut and those little mixed nut things.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's the Brazil nuts.
And eggs. Eggs is another thing it's called nature's perfect food for a reason, because it's just so full of micronutrition. Another one, selenium, iodine. A lot of people today are going around with thyroid issues because they're deficient in iodine, and you can get a lot of iodine. A lot of my clients don't like to eat sea vegetables. It's just not their thing. So you can easily supplement with some kelp drops in your water. I tell them to do that. Or if you like sea vegetables, a lot of your sea vegetables have the iodine in it. Now, you have to be careful with iodine, because somebody like myself that has an autoimmune condition, Hashimoto's, we were taught going through the program that it's not recommended to supplement with iodine, because that could actually make things worse. I'm not sure the process why that is, but if you find out that you have an autoimmune condition, just consult a healthcare professional or practitioner before you start supplementing with iodine, because it can make things worse. But those are the big ones. And your fat-soluble vitamins, A, D, E, and K.
That's a biggie in the keto world.
Yeah.
People aren't eating enough fat going into it, and they don't realize the value of A, D, and K now that they've got sufficient fat. It's just not on their radar screen.
Yeah, and the vitamin D, needs cholesterol to synthesize in the body. So all these things are just interconnected, and so many people, even in the ketogenic realm, who are eating a lot of fats, they may not be properly absorbing these fats. And so the fat-soluble vitamins that they are intaking, their body's not really able to do anything with these. And these vitamins can become toxic because they're not easily excreted out of the body like the other vitamins, the water-soluble vitamins, which you just pee out.
Right. So since you've graduated the MTP program and you've started taking on clients, you started, talking to real people in real situations, what are some of the, how are some of the ways that you've been able to apply what you've learned in the MTP program, or have you learned new things since then that you've come across just dealing with people?
Yeah, it's a constant learning process, and I'm, just listening to Jimmy and his biohacking podcast, you're learning all sorts of things, like the importance of maybe using a sauna to help you detoxify and things like that. But one thing there are several things that I like to tell my clients. A lot of them come to me, and a lot of their issues stem from either digestive issues or blood sugar irregularities. And those are the first 2 things that I always look at first to see where they may be struggling, because if those 2 things are out of sorts, then your whole body is going to suffer. And so we have something called the foundations and the consequences. Your foundations involve digestion, proper hydration, mineral balance, fatty acid, and proper blood sugar regulation. So we get these things in order, then the other things like your endocrine system, immune system, cardiovascular system will come into order.
She's also learning the non-compliant client.
Yeah, I bet.
She's like, all right, you have to do what I say, or what I'm saying, I might as well be saying to the wall.
Yeah.
And you've had a couple of those, haven't you?
I have. There's one in particular, bless her heart. Oh, my goodness. She's just so ingrained with the calorie thing.
Fat phobia.
And bless, she's had so many health challenges, and some of them severe, and she's overweight and struggling to lose weight. First thing I noticed when looking at her food journal was she was only having about 800 to 1,000 calories a day.
Wow.
And that's simply not enough. And with her other health issues, she's probably not absorbing her micronutrients like she needs to. So she will have trouble digesting her food. She will have trouble detoxifying. So I'm having to learn to be patient with some people, because I understand that they are ingrained, a lot of them, with the calorie aspect of things. Calories do matter in some instances, but when you're eating a ketogenic calories, if you know how to listen to your body through satiation.
And you as a practitioner, I mean, you can't make them do what you're telling them to do. So she's coming to the realization, I can lead you to the water, but I can't drink it for you. So, and then you've let go of those clients. All right, well, if you can't do what I'm asking you to do, we're going to move on. But if you're ready to get serious, I'm always here for you, kind of thing. It's it's an interesting relationship.
And for so many of those, a lot of times you don't know what's going on behind the scene. We had a lady on this podcast probably 3 or 4 years ago that she was talking about one client that would, once a week, she would binge sugar, just like ice cream, and she'd be good all week, and then she would just binge that one day. And it took her a long time talking to her, and she eventually, said, I'm going to have to let you go as a client unless you can tell me what's going on. And the lady broke down finally, and what she found out was that her mother gave her this sugar as a kid and put her, in the back room while she entertained. She had boyfriends or whatever. And so she would rent a movie, get candy bars, give them to the daughter, and send the daughter to the back room. And so in her head, sugar equaled love. And so when this nutritional person was telling her to cut the sugar out, she was telling her to stop feeling love and to not have access to the one thing that made her feel loved. And she couldn't do it. I mean, her brain just wouldn't let her go a week without sugar, because she was, that connection was too strong, and it was too difficult for her to make that jump. And you feel for her, but it's hard to kind of dig into a lot of these clients and figure out exactly what's going on.
Your family, they make all those little twisty bread things. That's their tradition. They've done it since they were kids, and they still do it to this day. Not that any of them actually like the bread that they're making, but they make this homemade bread every year, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad's side of the family is Italian, and so that's one thing that they just did growing up, and they associate a lot of times. My dad has just really started keto. He's still learning about it, but a lot of those memories, like you said, he associates those family times with good memories, and so when you eat that food, it's like eating those foods brings him back to those times where he was enjoying spending time with his family. Yeah, and I get it. And there are some people that maybe I just simply can't help because it's more of a psychological thing, that maybe they need to get professional help to work through some issues before I can go any further with them.
Yeah, absolutely.